everyone. Thank you for joining us today to do our spring canvas craft. My name is Allison. Originally, when we were doing this in the libraries before we closed, this was the prototype of what it was going to look like. We were using burlap and moss on a canvas, and I'm still going to show you how to do it that way, but I also came up with some creative things that you already have at home that you can do. Now, before we get started, I do want to share with you that we did just start a YouTube channel. So you can search for us at Southern Oklahoma Library System. Just look us up and you can find us. And then I also want to send out a reminder to please complete the 2020 census if you haven't already. It's very important. It determines a lot of funding. Takes less than 5 minutes to do. I did mine earlier this week, so just go online and fill it out, or you can do it over the phone. So we'll go ahead and get started. Over here are some examples of different and other creative ways that we are doing this. So with this one, we used an old book cover, and then we covered it with scrapbook paper and then a book page. So that's an option. And then over here, we just painted the canvas and we put scrapbook paper on top of it. So let me show you guys some ideas and some step-by-steps of how to do this. And then when you guys try this at home, please upload a picture in the comments of what you've done so we can see how you took it more creatively. So here is this, and here is a piece of burlap I have to cover. Now, if you don't have burlap at home, but you have scrap fabric, you can also cover it with that. Anything that is heavier like this that you're going to put on, you're going to want to put it on with hot glue. So the easiest way to do this is lay it down flat, and then you're going to flip it over on the back. And I'm just going to do, I won't do the whole thing, but I'm going to do a little hot glue. I won't do the whole thing because I ran out of a glue stick. And then you're just going to fold it over. And then once that dries, then I recommend that you come over here and do the other side. That way it pulls it tight, you glue that side, and then you come back and do the last two pieces. So that kind of gives you, like, here's what the back of this looks like. So the back's not necessarily pretty, but the front is. Now, another option, like I said, this one's painted. So quick, simple layer of paint. You can do it that way too. You can also, if you have old magazine pages, cover it with that. Here is a piece of scrapbook paper that I've cut, and if you want to do scrapbook paper on it, you are just going to take, we'll use this one because I've misplaced my blank one, and you'll take some Mod Podge. Now, if you don't have Mod Podge at home, you can use Elmer's glue and add a little bit of water to it. Just kind of water it down. And so what you'll do with that, let's open this, stick our brush in there, and then you just do like a super light layer of Mod Podge. And we'll just get it. It's really important to have it all around the edges. You don't necessarily need to have a lot through the middle, but the edges, you'll want to have that on there. Then you just kind of center it. And as you're doing this, do it from the middle out, so you get rid of all your bubbles. So we'll just kind of do it like that. So, and then our outline, whatever we determine we're going to put on here, I went with spring because I like spring, and you know, it's all about new growth, and everything's happy. And so that's kind of what I was going for. Now, what I did, because I have no artistic ability, is I found outlines of shapes on the internet. I printed them off and then just cut them out. Now, this is just plain white paper, and I use these as my outlines for the different shapes. And you can kind of see here the different shapes. Now, you can do whatever shape you want. It doesn't have to be spring themed. It can be anything. And then, like, for scrapbook paper or anything, you're going to want to flip it over and then trace your outline on the back, and then cut it out. That way, you know, you don't have your marker, your pencil on the front. You can also do, you can see over here, I did this with book pages. Like I said, you can use magazine pages, newspapers. As I got to thinking about the different things you could do and I got really creative, you could put buttons on there. You could, if you want to be super creative, do buttons instead of a cutout shape. Just anything you have at home, you know, think of something exciting. And then for, if you do have moss and you're going to use that, you'll want to put that on with hot glue. If you don't have moss, if you're using some sort of paper product, you can just put that on with your Mod Podge or your Elmer's glue. So this is just a really simple craft to do. I'll do this real quick, just show you how it's done. So we'll just put this shape right on there. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the scrapbook paper, and we're just going to rub Mod Podge on the back. Smells really great. And then pick wherever you want it and then lay it down. And again, smooth it from the middle out. And here is something simple, but like I said, if you have ribbon at home, you can do like this little bunny over here and put ribbon on him. Or if you have a cotton ball or a puff ball, you can just take that. Got a little bit of hot glue left on here, and then we'll just give him a little tail. So there you go. That's your super simple craft for the week. Again, if you do this, please post your pictures in the comments. I want to see how creative you got. Tune in next week. We are going to be repurposing tin cans, both big and small. So as you're cooking at home, save those cans, and we're going to show you a way you can repurpose those into home decor next week. All right, thank you guys for tuning in.